Senator Bernard Sanders announced Wednesday that he is suspending his presidential campaign, paving the way for a general election showdown between President Trump and former Vice President Joseph Biden. Sanders' 2020 bid got off to a strong start, but the Vermont senator struggled once the race moved beyond the first three contests and as the more moderate elements of the party rallied around Biden, who most Democrats have long viewed as the best bet to defeat President Trump. Biden now faces the challenge of unifying the Democratic Party around his bid, including the very liberal and young voters who flock to Sanders' far-left vision for the nation and remain skeptical of Biden. Sanders arguably has been the most influential force in Democratic politics since he announced his long-shot bid against Hillary Clinton in the 2016 presidential election. Sanders won 23 contests against Mrs. Clinton, defying expectations and building a grassroots revolution that demanded the Democratic Party move further to the left on policy issues by adopting a $15 minimum wage, tuition-free college and Medicare for all. The movement helped give birth to the likes of Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the liberal firebrand from New York City who volunteered for Mr. Sanders' 2016 campaign before knocking off one of the top Democrats in the 2018 midterm elections. Sanders and his inner circle were far better prepared this time around, but the avowed Democratic Socialist was running in a much more crowded field, including candidates that had adopted parts of his bold agenda. In the run-up to early primary contests, Sanders went up and down in the polls. But when the votes started to get counted, it was, at least early on, the Sanders show. The 78-year-old finished a close second in Iowa behind former South Bend, Indiana, Mayor Pete Buttigieg before stringing together a pair of victories in New Hampshire and Nevada. Sanders also proved to be a fundraising juggernaut. He easily outpacing his rivals, raking in droves of money from small donors across the nation that rallied around his populist message and felt as if the party and the political system had, in many ways, left them behind. Things, though, started to unravel after Biden scored a landslide victory in South Carolina. Joe Biden then won a series of high-profile endorsements from his rivals, including Buttigieg and Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, giving him a jolt of momentum heading into a dominant Super Tuesday showing that gave him the chance to claim the "comeback kid" mantle. That marked the beginning of the end for Sanders. He went on to suffer a devastating loss in Michigan, a state he won 4 years ago, and struggled to stay relevant after the crisis froze traditional campaigning, making it impossible for him to hold his huge rallies.